Last week, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick has said during the next legislative session, he will move to revoke tenure of professors who teach critical race theory. UT President Jay Hartzell responded in a statement Monday, saying removing tenure would ultimately hurt students and teachers. He also said that some might argue that the occasional mistake is made when granting tenure, but the ongoing excellence of UT faculty suggests those issues are rare. Here to talk about this is former Texas GOP Chairman James Dickey. James, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
What is Dan Patrick trying to do here, you think?
Well, the biggest thing that he is doing and that we all need to make sure happens is reminding the professors and the entire staff at the University of Texas that their jobs are paid for by the tax money of the taxpayers of Texas. And so they need to remember that that's who they report to. And so to be about right now teaching critical racism and trying to teach young Texans and people who've come to Texas from all over the world that the most important thing about them, the defining characteristic about them more than anything else is their race and nothing else matters except their skin tone. That is something that should not be taught, and certainly taxpayers don't need to pay for that.
You know, it was interesting that Dan Patrick seemed to be upset or angry that the faculty at UT would have the temerity to say that we're going to teach what we want to teach. Did you get that impression?
Well, certainly, that is part of it, is a reminder that the Board of Trustees is in charge over the university, but the Board of Trustees reports to the state, and ultimately it all reports to the taxpayer. One of the beneficial things about elections is politicians get reminded that it's the voters to whom they are accountable. When you have folks who are 2 or 3 layers away, especially folks who are guaranteed lifetime jobs, when no taxpayers guaranteed a lifetime role. Right. That's an important reminder.
Is this more about the perceived dangers of critical race theory, or the fact that UT professors ultimately work for the people that pay them, the taxpayers? I mean, which has got the primary issue here with Dan Patrick?
So it's actually a combination of both. It's the frustration of taking taxpayers' money to pay someone to teach our students, who are also taking out huge student loans, generally speaking, to get a university degree, and taking those 2 piles of money from the students and from the taxpayers and using it to teach them that the most important thing about them is their race. Martin Luther King Jr. would be rolling over in his grave, as would Frederick Douglass.
To that point, if that's the case, shouldn't Dan Patrick be telling elementary and primary and high school teachers they can't teach it either?
Absolutely. And in fact, thankfully, parents are stepping up all over the state. One of the best side effects of the coronavirus experience has been that parents have seen firsthand what their kids were being taught in schools, and it was out of control. And fortunately, parents are starting to take control back, even in places like San Francisco.
Okay, well, the next legislative session, we're going to see how far this one goes. We got to wrap it up for now. James Dickey, as always, thanks very much.
Thank you.